Welcome to Haunted Homebodies, where Halloween isn't just a day, it's a lifestyle. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Sarah, and we're your guides through the delightfully dark corners of comfort horror.
Grab your silver bullets and your scary journey guide.
It's a time to join the goddamn club. I really wanted to hit the record button so that I could record us talking about your excellent shirt. I have been holding off on talking about it until now.
I could feel the energy. She wants to say something. It's like, it's not like it's subtle. I have owned this shirt for many years. It's from another podcast, Nightmare on Film Street. They have a whole line of like horror themed clothing.
Oh.
And yeah, I saw this one and I was like, yep.
For anyone listening and not watching, Ashley is wearing a shirt that says Stephen King rules, but not only does it say that, it is a pretty much exact replica of the shirt that one of the characters in the Monster Squad is wearing.
Monster Squad. Oh my gosh. So I love this movie. I'm very excited to talk about it, and I checked the records and I know the exact date. That is the first time I watched it. I watched it for the first time as an adult. It's January 19th, 2020. Sorry for saying the year 2020. I feel like every time you say that, it's like a record scratch. But this was a period when I, like, leading up to the pandemic, I was like really getting in my groove as a horror fan. It's getting its, you know, when you just like really get into a hobby and then it like becomes a real thing. And I was also just posting like my cozy little movie nights and movie weekends on Instagram. So I found the Instagram story of me watching this for the first time.
Cute.
And I had kind of avoided it. Like, I had heard about it in the horror community a little bit. It's not like super horror, but it's, you know, it's definitely like
it fits
in the genre. And I was like, this sounds like really fun, but if I've never heard about it before, like, it can't be that good. So I just kind of was like, well, I'm not going to watch it. And then I watched it, and within like 15 minutes, I was like, I'm obsessed with this movie. It's so fun. Like, why aren't people talking about it? And I rewatched it several times. I would say that the initial glow has worn off a little bit, but it's still, I think, a really solid, fun movie, and I love it a lot. And obviously do because of my shirt and my VHS light. Let me bring this to the camera.
Show the audience, please.
I'm gonna show this. I could have chosen any movie in the world for this little VHS light.
Cute.
And I chose the Monster Squad, and I love it. That is the end of my show and tell. That is the end of also my Monster Squad paraphernalia.
It's pretty good, though.
It's pretty good.
You're doing great.
I think at one point I did have a pin somewhere. I need to find it. A pin that's just the Frankenstein's face and just this BOGUS on it.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Frankenstein was amazing. Fan. We'll talk about him, but he was great. Oh, Frankenstein's monster.
Good. Yes, that's true. Frankenstein's monster. I know. Wait, are we going to be those?
Well,
I wasn't politically correct.
Only because the club talks about it.
Yeah,
it's one of their questions. One of their questions for entry. Although I'm pretty sure Phoebe just calls him Frankenstein.
Yeah, and like also all of society.
Yes. Yes.
It's just one of those things that we're all wrong about, but we like all agree to be wrong about it.
What it means, yeah.
Like, who's got the time just to be like Frankenstein's monster? Also, just the name Frankenstein is great.
Also, like, if Dr. Frankenstein created a monster, what last name is this monster going to have but Frankenstein? So it's just another Frankenstein, I think.
Yeah, I agree. We've cracked the code.
You're welcome, everyone.
Moving on. Okay, Monster Squad was released on August 14th, 1987. It's rated 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb and has a 56 critic score and 77% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. That makes sense. It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime, and if you're a real one, on your DVD player. And if you're a real one, VHS. I do not yet own it on VHS. Do you want to read the synopsis?
I would love to. A group of 12-year-olds form a Universal Monsters fan club called Monster Squad and have to attempt to save their hometown from Count Dracula and his monsters when they show up For real.
For real. Okay. So as is customary on the podcast, this is your first time watching this
It sure
movie, right?
is.
I didn't even have to like ask. I knew it would be. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me that you loved it, or else the podcast is over.
Or else the podcast and our friendship is canceled.
Possibly. I will consider the friendship, but
Is it very cute? I am all right. I'll be real with you. The whole movie, I'm not enamored with the whole movie, but the things I love about the movie, I really love.
yeah.
Phoebe is everything to me. Phoebe,
Yeah.
like, kept me watching the whole time. I think that Phoebe is the real hero of this story, and she could have single-handedly taken down all of the monsters because she kind of does.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. Eugene is adorable.
Yes.
Too cute. Frankenstein, super cute. I love the camp, obviously. So there were things I loved about the movie.
Yeah, I agree. So we definitely are on the same page that Phoebe, we're just gonna call him Frankenstein, okay?
Yeah,
Phoebe,
yeah.
Frankenstein, and Scary German Guy
Oh,
saved
yes, I
the
love
world.
Scary German
Scary
Guy.
German Guy. They couldn't have
Yeah,
done it without him.
totally.
He is fantastic. It's presented as if Sean, who's the main character, and the Monster Squad, the rest of them, save the town. No, it's you're right.
No.
It's
The
Phoebe, Frankenstein,
Monster
Scary.
Squad, like Rudy does a little bit, and
Yeah.
otherwise, like that's kind of the impact the monsters. They bring Scary German Guy into it.
Yeah. I mean, they all have like a little moment.
Yeah.
Eugene calls in the army. Well, let's not talk about the end of the
Well,
movie.
I love Eugene. I do love
He
Eugene.
is so cute. Just this group in general, really fun, really unique, and like makes zero sense at all. Like, why is
Yes.
Rudy defending Horace and then at the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie, and then going to join this group of like younger kids who are
I
obsessed
am-
with monsters? There's no backstory to
I
explain
loved
this.
the confidence that these like obviously super nerdy
Yes.
kids had when they were like, Rudy stood up for Horace getting bullied. Maybe he wants to join our club, and we're so confident he wants to that he has to pass our test.
Yes.
to be in
They're
this
like, we'll
club.
consider letting him in. Where you like you and they're right. Like he persists enough, and we don't really know his motivation. I think he is just bored, and then the sister.
Yes,
Yes.
He in
That-
their tree house. He can
Yeah.
he can look into the sister's room while she's
Right, but he went to the treehouse. Maybe
he did go
already
to the
knew.
tree house. Yeah,
But it doesn't
this
seem
is
like
true.
it. It
I
seems
think
like
Rudy's
maybe-
just like along for the ride.
Yeah.
Rudy's a yes guy. Like he's gonna say
Yes.
yes to the adventure.
Yes, I really
Yeah.
like Rudy. Like, I think the idea, like, it doesn't make any sense, but also, like, I'm fine with it. Like, he's just a
Yeah.
fun, he's like supposed to be, so he's supposed to be the guy that's the bully, but he's like sticking up to the
Yes.
like dorky preppy bullies, and he's wearing his leather jacket, and he's cool, but he's also just like really nice. Like, I don't think he has really a moment in the movie where he's grimy, like, at all.
No, Rudy, and there are grimy moments in
There
this
are.
movie, but Rudy is not responsible for them. Rudy is great, which is like kind of an anomaly for 80s movies that had middle school to teenage age boys in it.
Yeah. And a lot of those, I don't know if I'd call them tropes, but stereotypes come out in this movie. Like, they call Horace fat kid, like even his friends. And I guess it's just like, oh, because they're his friends, then it's okay. But then he's like bullied for being overweight. And like, that's just like,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, bullying is real, and being bullied for
Mhm.
your weight is very real.
Mhm.
But when it's like, then also you're the brunt of the joke, it's, I don't know. We've talked about this before. It's like a wishy-washy area where it's like, where does the line end between portraying what really happens and then like also like re-traumatizing people, setting a poor example for
Yeah.
younger audience members, but then also just being like, this is just kind of real life and like a more
Well,
authentic look at what might be going on.
and on that topic, because I want to make sure we acknowledge this, like they use the F slur a lot in
Yes.
this movie. I found it like really quite jarring because
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of 80s movies and that is not as prevalent. At the same time, were middle school boys probably using it a ton back then?
Yeah.
Probably.
People still do it, and it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
shocking. But that was actually something that I noticed watching it with a more critical lens, like this time around, where I was like, oof, it just seems like unnecessary,
It's like
especially for the
so
type of
many
movie.
times.
I know. And it
Yeah.
is presented, I think, always in a way of it's like the bad kids saying it, right?
No, I
It's
think our
not.
Monster Squad guys are saying it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
just like, this is the
Yeah. I
this
mean,
is
it's
where I'm like, this
okay.
is what I'm okay with. So I'm like, this is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna tell is that it's just like only the bad people are using the offensive slur. Yeah, unnecessary. I don't think that kind of language ever needs to be used, even in the context of what I was saying. Don't need it. Doesn't add anything to the movie. It never
Yeah.
does. And then, like I said, just kind of add this like triggering element that isn't needed. But
Yeah.
then again, this isn't a movie about the 1980s. It was moved. It was made in the 1980s, and it was a little bit of the Wild West back then. They were just
Yeah.
making choices.
Yes.
They were making
Choices
choices.
indeed.
But I think that was part of why. So this movie was a box office flop. It's definitely
Yeah.
considered a cult classic, and you can see why. Like it doesn't quite know which audience it's appealing to. I think like it's
Hmm.
trying to be a little bit edgy and have some of these random darker themes, but then it's also just trying to be like the most fun movie ever and appeal to like the kind of audience that likes the Goonies, like just like
Yeah.
a group of kids having fun and going on an adventure and doing these like really fun montages. But then yeah, well, pepper in these like very dark adult moments, like the
Hmm.
Sean's parents clearly are in like a very
Yeah.
unhealthy, toxic relationship, and that is not sugar coated. It's just like put out there like one of I don't remember if it's Sean or his or Phoebe who are like, "Oh, like are you going to yell at daddy?" I think it's Phoebe.
Phoebe.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
says like, "Are you going to yell at daddy later?" And that was just really sad and then there was a
Yeah.
moment randomly with scary German guy when we just find out that he was like most likely a Holocaust survivor and they just like throw that in.
Yeah. Well,
And
and there's like so they show I was reading a little bit about this.
yeah,
They show the Holocaust survivor tattoo and then
right.
they also show there's a section of it there's a moment for some reason where they say like how do you say please don't murder us in German, and he
Mm.
translates that, and I felt like that was also a big moment that told us
Yeah.
that that's what he was, and it's commentary on
Yeah.
the monsters in real life.
Right. And for some
Hmm.
reason, it was kind of weird, but I thought that that was like relatively well done. Like it seemed like it should have
Yeah.
been um insensitive or something, like to just to be like in the middle of this little monster adventure romp of a movie. But his character felt so genuine to me, and I really liked the message there that he
Yeah.
was
Hmm.
portrayed as this scary guy who kept to himself. And when we're initially introduced to him and they go over his house, we've kind of like seen him and they make it seem like at first like he's holding this big knife and to something like the I don't remember what the exact line is, but like there's only a little bit of time left and you think that he's like, well, you don't really think, but like he's about to end them, end the children, and he's just like cutting them another slice of
No, it's
pie. It's
so
so wholesome.
cute.
That whole scene
Yes.
was so sweet to me, and how they just
Yeah.
immediately warmed to him, and how he just
Yep.
was genuinely this lovely man who ends up saving the whole town with the help of Phoebe.
Truly.
He's a gem.
Phoebe, German
I really
guy.
enjoyed
Yeah.
his character. I think he was my favorite from the first the first time watching, and he's still probably my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. He's a real sweetie. I really love him.
Yeah, he's a
So
fun
something
one.
that I thought was really interesting about this, so like the Goonies,
Yeah.
so many of those child actors are still working today, are still famous today.
Yeah.
This movie has almost no one that I've ever seen before except the guy who turns into a werewolf. His name is
Okay.
John Grease.
Yeah.
He is the only person who has been in all three seasons of The White Lotus, and he's fantastic.
Interesting. Okay, I thought he was
Yes.
kind of familiar, but I actually noted that too when I was thinking about why this movie was such a flop. And you think about a movie like The Goonies, which is star-studded, and a lot of them were child actors, but
Hmm.
also just part of like prolific families that we talked about. There were
Yeah.
nepo babies in
Hmm.
that movie. And this movie just is it acts like it was just some low budget straight to DVD or straight to VHS, let's be real. This is 1987. Um was this 1987? I just got yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, am I in Goonies time? What, where am I? But yeah, it just had this like relatively big budget. I looked it up, had a $14 million budget. It only
Oh.
grossed 3.8 million. And they actually, I think like I didn't know this was a thing, but I think it was in theaters and they were like, you're done. Like you're flopping. You have to go. And then it went to VHS and then people like became like a cult classic afterward. But yeah, it had
What
a
did
pretty
they
big budget.
spend $14 million in
No idea.
1987 on?
No idea. Probably on the one scene that is my favorite in the entire movie, which is when Sean is sitting on the roof of his house and he is
Oh.
watching with binoculars a drive-in theater that he can see from his roof. This is like the dreamiest. This is why, like, part of
Yeah.
why I love this movie. This is like such a dream scenario. Then his dad comes home. He's had a stressful night on the job. He knows he's gonna be fighting with the missus. And he sits down, and you can tell that Sean thinks he's like about to be yelled at, like, "Oh, go, get back
Hmm.
inside" or whatever. And the dad just hands him some McDonald's, and they just sit there and like pass the binoculars back and forth. And I'm like, this
It's
is the
so
sweetest
cute.
scene, and like, what a dream to be able to see a drive-in theater from your roof. Like,
Oh my
that
gosh.
is a
So
new goal.
my good friends back in San Diego, you could see part of a drive-in screen from
Oh
their
man,
backyard, and it was so tempting. It was like right, it was always right there. So
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so, it's just like nostalgia built in. And I don't even know if it would have been nostalgic at the time because drive-in theaters were still pretty popular back then, as far as I know. But it seems like that, where a movie, even though I saw it for the first time at age 30, like it makes me feel nostalgic for my childhood just by like
Yeah.
having those moments of just like, oh,
Well, that is a good transition into what I am, at least today, calling our cozy corner. Just
that was a nursing home in the town we grew up in.
so
But
true.
I like it.
Didn't we go
Cozy
like
corner.
volunteer there in elementary
Yeah, we like
school?
probably were like saying Christmas carols or something. I wasn't prepared for this and I
No.
love it.
Well, now it's even better.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, but yes, this movie, nursing home aside, this movie has so many cozy elements to it. As to a lot. I mean, we're a cozy horror podcast. A lot of the movies we
Right.
talk about have cozy things. So I feel like this one is just brimming with cozy elements.
I agree. Yeah, and that's our plan moving forward. We've been cozy coded all along. And trying to convince other people who aren't already on board that horror is one of the cozier genres, in my opinion, if you're watching the right movies. And yeah, this movie totally fits the bill. So let's talk about some of the cozy elements here.
Well, a town square is always cozy,
Yeah.
always. And I read from a random Reddit comment, so fingers crossed this is true, that the town square they show is the same as the one that was used in Gilmore Girls and Gremlins and so many others. I mean, like that is the quintessential studio lot town square. They use it for everything, so like that does not seem super far-fetched to me.
No, there was a gazebo, I feel like.
Yeah,
That's all I
theirs is
need.
totally a gazebo.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I agree. The town was super cute. There's something about the 80s. 80 towns in the 80s, like right before
Hmm.
malls became a thing. Just downtowns were so important. They illustrate that in Stranger Things,
Yes.
right? The fall of the
Hmm.
small town and the
Hmm.
malls stuff makes me feel nostalgic too, but I prefer if I had to choose, I'll go with the cute sweet downtown. And this has a little bit of that. And it also has the really cozy treehouse. We haven't talked
Oh
about the
my
little
God,
clubhouse too
yeah.
much, but so fun just to have a treehouse
It's
and to
like
have
my
like your little club of
dream as a
friends.
child.
Yes, yes, I had one at one point. I think then it just kind of fell into disrepair at some point and we had to take it down. But my dad did build us one and it was really fun. We lived in the woods, as you know, and we were a big like just fort in the forest, a lot of just like imaginary play. And I would love
Hmm.
to be an adult who has a treehouse. I guess so I
Oh
also
my
have a child,
gosh.
so I could just make a treehouse and be like, it's for Jed.
Just make sure it's big enough
Yeah, where I
because
can at
I'm
least.
coming to visit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. We'll work on it. We'll add it to the vision board.
Yes. I love that. Yes, the clubhouse is really cute, except I am like devastated by the scene where Phoebe comes in and Sean's like, "Can't you read? It's just
I
no go." He's
know.
so mean to her.
I don't think I like Sean.
She's no, I no.
Yeah,
Sean really doesn't have any redeeming qualities.
not much. He's just like kind
Except his
of
shirt.
bossy. Yeah,
He's got a
yeah.
great
He's
shirt.
got good fashion, and he seems like he's the one who came up with like the Monster Squad concept. And that
Yeah.
is another thing that makes me feel cozy. So you know that I always love a group of friends, which this movie has, and I think it has like a really like maybe the quirkiest group. Like this group has
Yeah.
no business. Like why is Eugene there? Like it's just like
Don't know.
5 years
To be
younger. Why
tiny
is
and
Rudy there?
adorable.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really weird group, but movies like this with the group make me feel cozy. But then when you add the element, the idea, it's like the Midnight Society, right? The idea of a friend group
Mm.
who has bonded over their love of like scary stories and monsters, and they're just creepy little critters just hanging out together. I wish that we had realized this sooner. We were kind of creepy, but we weren't like, I wish we were like
Hmm.
weird about it, you know?
Yeah,
I wish we were
we
like
really
being
leaned
bullied for
in.
being goth or something.
Right? Because we were not cool or popular, so why
No.
did we not lean all the way into the
Ugh.
weird?
I wish that kids just
Hmm.
could realize that being themselves is always going to be worth it. Like you just try to conform for so long and then you turn 30 and you are like, "Oh, I'm a loser," and it's the best thing
The
ever. And that
weird's
makes me
gotta come out
actually it
now.
comes
Yeah,
out, it oozes out, and then you're like, "Why aren't we doing this the whole time?"
exactly.
Uh, but you know,
Exactly. Well, I do love that about it. It's true. It's cute, except Sean is like also kind of not nice to his friends, but
not great.
everybody else is great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You wrote a note about what is probably my favorite scene in the movie, or at least my favorite non-Phoebe scene in the movie,
Mm.
where Eugene tells his dad there's a monster in the closet. And the dad's like, ooh, scary monster. Ah. And he opens the closet, but he doesn't actually look inside, and there is an actual monster
Right.
in there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this movie, I would say it's classified maybe as like a horror fantasy because it's put in the real world, but there are elements that just no amount of camp could possibly explain. But then it doesn't just stay in like the fantasy realm. It leans so heavy into the camp in so many ways. Like
Yeah.
Eugene's character is just all
Yeah.
all camp. He
Mhm.
his Twinkie gets eaten by the swamp monster. He writes a letter to the army and then they come and they're like,
Yeah.
"Where's Eugene? He asked us to come," right? Because that's how it works. And it wasn't just like a man, like an FBI agent or something. It was
They
the
brought the
army in
troops.
tanks. Yeah. Coming to save and then being like, "Where's Eugene? He told us to come." Oh, yeah,
I
it is
love
such
him.
a bizarre movie. One other thing I found cozy, which is kind of weird, is just like the werewolf character in general. I just really liked him. I felt like he was a great guy.
Yeah.
He was a good guy. He was trying to warn them. It
Yep.
kind of broke my heart a little bit at the end when Rudy, I think it was Rudy who shot him with a silver bullet, and then he
Yeah.
dies and he says thank you. And
Did
he's
he
just like
actually
so
die? I
relieved.
feel like they left that up for interpretation.
I think he died, but
Okay.
sure.
So Rudy's gonna
That's
have that trauma to deal with later in life.
I don't feel like he didn't seem traumatized. He was like, "Yep, silver bullets" or something.
by
I think
wait,
it helped that the guy
which
was like, "Thank
he
you."
made the silver bullets in shop class. We
Okay, we
haven't
have to
talked
talk
about
about that
that yet.
montage. That whole montage is incredible. There's this boppy little 80s tune that I did not look up, but I hope was made specifically for this movie. It's so boppy. We just have I love a montage that just like didn't need to go that
Yes.
hard. It went
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah.
And they're all preparing for the monsters. Yeah, and
I
he's
mean,
Rudy
Eugene
is stealing.
writing to the army is in that
Yes, yes,
montage.
that's true. And Rudy's like stealing like the bow and arrow from gym class, and they're sharpening their stakes. Like, oh, it's so fun. I think that is the one of the most fun moments in the movie, and it's just
It's
it's
good. And then they've stolen all of Sean's parents' silverware, actual, like their silver, and Rudy has melted it because they have apparently
yeah.
bullet molds in shop class and has
Yes.
melted it all down into bullets.
Of course, you don't remember that? We were never in shop class. They wouldn't have dared let us in there.
I was in
Think
shop class.
you were? Why?
Yeah, or whatever we called it. Whatever.
What
Tech
did you
Edge.
make?
I made really
Check
cool
it.
shelves that are still up in my grandmother's house.
No way.
Yeah.
How did I not know this about you? Was I even paying attention? Where we have moments in this podcast where I'm like, we were best friends in high school, and I like don't remember. I was just off like playing soccer half the time, and you were apparently building shelves. I don't know.
Yeah, there was like one little semester. I'm sure I built something else. I don't remember, but yeah, it was
Oh,
around all the heavy machinery and
that's wild. Yeah,
yeah,
I rightfully did not do that. I would have lost an arm. Very clumsy.
I
But
survived.
the last thing I want to talk about, the last thing I want to talk about for our cozy corner, our cozy little corner is the monsters themselves. Like, we've talked
Hmm.
about Frankenstein. He is so sweet.
Yes.
He is lovely. Him and Phoebe have the cutest friendship.
Oh my God,
He
yes.
immediately turns on Dracula.
Yep.
Immediately, which
For
respect
Phoebe.
for Phoebe. He's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I like this girl. But he was like, Dracula was like, go kill these kids, dark. And Frankenstein was like, actually, I'm just gonna hang out and have like a really fun time and
Yeah.
be kind of bummed out that people think I'm a monster because like I'm a real sweetheart. We talked about the werewolf being cozy. We
Yeah.
haven't talked about the other monsters. They're kind of like lesser characters in terms of
Hmm.
focus, but we've got the mummy, he's fun. We've got the swamp man, he's fun. Like I think it's just fun, the universal monsters concept. I think that's such a good
Yes.
hook for this movie.
Yes.
And then we have Dracula, who is an absolute turd. He is awful.
He
And we haven't brought
calls
him up.
a
A child.
5-year-old a bitch.
Yes. Out loud for
Granted, this
the
is
world to hear.
moments after they have decided that she can I may end up cutting this because I am so uncomfortable about
Yeah.
this. They determine that she can be the one to speak the thing that sends the monsters back because
Right.
she's a virgin.
Yeah. I feel like I
Didn't love
know.
it.
I know. I felt a little icky about that too. I felt like there was a smoother way that could be handled. I feel like they just wanted to make the
Yeah.
joke of the teenage girl being like, "Oh, well, that doesn't count." Like saying like she said that she was a virgin, but she actually had sex
Yeah.
with some, sounds like some sort of
Steve,
loser.
Steve didn't
That's
count.
always
I
a
did laugh
Steve.
pretty hard at that. That was
That
pretty funny.
is funny, but
Yeah.
I wish that there was a smoother way. Then, yeah, talking about a child in that context was very uncomfortable for me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dracula's a
Sucked.
total
Awful. No pun intended.
sucked. Good one, Sarah. Yeah, he was another part of the movie where I was like, this movie just is so inconsistent in terms of the audience it's trying to appeal to.
Yeah.
Because Dracula is like arguably every line he says and every scene he's in is like probably the reason why this movie was rated PG-13. It's like it doesn't feel like it needed to be a PG-13 movie, but you
Yeah.
can see why it was, and
Mhm.
you can see how this movie just got totally lost because older kids are like, this movie's for kids. It's like rated PG-13. Like I want to sneak into an R-rated
Yes.
movie. I want to go see like Jaws if I can't get into the R-rated movie because at least the someone gets eaten. It's not a movie where there's really like there's some violence, but it's like violence against monsters, which I feel
Yeah.
like totally dampens it down. Um And I don't know. It just felt like it could have kept the cute energy and the innocence of it and then left out the derogatory language, the slurs, the weird sexualization of children in very brief it's not like that is like an overarching theme, but there are a couple
No.
moments even with like them like kind of looking at the sister in the window, like that gets
Yeah.
pushed a little bit too far for
Yeah.
me. Like I feel like it's
Which
really
was like
walking a
a
line.
big trope in the 80s. Like
Totally.
there's so much of
Totally.
that. But
But for
like
that to
the
be like with kid,
Goonies,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Goonies did everything you're saying.
Right. Exactly. It like drew that line and was like,
Yeah.
adults will think this is fun, but this movie is for children. And it's just gonna have these like
Yes.
little moments of fear, but instead this movie had moments of like yuck,
Yuck. Yuck
where
indeed.
it could
Yeah.
have just like, but then like all in between, it's so fun and it is
Yeah.
total Goonies energy and is such a great concept and has these scenes that just grab you. And for people like me, they just like give you such nostalgia and warm fuzzies that it can help you kind of drown out the rest. And if I wasn't doing like a podcast on it, I probably would be able to just continue living in that la la land of being like, what a cute fun movie. But now I'm
Yeah.
like,
Now you're like, but I've
uh.
dedicated myself to talking to the public about this.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of it, but it's also like growth and I'm a
Mm.
parent and I think of things more critically about like what I would want to show my child or what discussions I would want to have
Mm.
with him if I show it to him. Like he will see this movie. I do really genuinely like this movie and I think it's fun and it's worth a watch, but there will be like conversations had from it, which I think can
Yeah.
be a good thing in a way. Like if you're only
Yeah.
in this sheltered little world and nothing has ever come, like the first time that he hears a word or something or um hears someone else like bully someone who's overweight and like has had no conversation with that. It's like that's when kids like join in and maybe don't make the right
Hmm.
decisions. And of course that could still happen, but I guess what I'm trying to say in a really long-winded way is that sometimes watching these movies that have some definite rough edges can open the conversation like we're having now, where we're not just celebrating it and being like it's perfect. We're being like this is a movie that I enjoy and I think that's okay, but there are these reasons where it could have done a lot better, and that is so many movies in the world.
It's so true, regardless of what year they came out. Like
Yeah.
still today,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. And I love that. I love that tactic you'll take with showing movies to Jen. It's a great way to start the conversation. And
Yeah.
also like it's real life.
Yeah. Yeah. There are so many bad people doing way worse things than what we saw in this movie. And that is scary as a parent. But I think it's important to talk about these things in all contexts. Like this is a pretty lighthearted podcast, but every now and again we get kind of serious. And I don't know. I
Yeah.
like that balance. I like that we can enjoy things and celebrate things and also be like, that was trash. Do better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do
Don't call a
that. Don't cop
5-year-old a
out.
bitch.
That seems
Like
like it goes without
I'm
saying.
saying that to both Dracula and the writers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. That line, it really did have an impact, though. I would say it had shock
Yeah.
value,
Yeah.
for better or worse. We're all like,
This is
whoa,
true.
whoa, okay. And
Yeah.
the actor, I will say, the actor delivered it with like so much vehemence. I feel like I was convinced. I was like, Dracula is real, and he was like a really bad guy. Like he played it so well.
He
He was
did.
in character. He wasn't holding back. Like he was just being a dirtbag the entire movie. He nailed it
Yeah.
and delivered the lines he was given. Unless he whatever they say, ad-lib that line. Uh
I
yeah.
would be
He
I
worked with
would
Willie
be
Gap.
more upset to find out that he ad-libbed
Right?
it once he
Yeah.
set eyes on that sweet little face.
Oh, I know. She's the real hero.
She is.
Snaps
She
for Phoebe.
is. Goonies didn't have a Phoebe.
No, I did appreciate this about this movie, even though the boys were all like, no, girls allowed. Phoebe was still like a very important part of the movie, and I feel like was portrayed as like a nice, well-rounded little character. She wasn't an afterthought. She wasn't just like
Yeah.
not contributing in any way, like
No,
the
she
older sister.
literally saved the town or the
Yeah,
world. I don't
the
know
world.
how
We don't
far
know. Probably the
monsters
world.
were
Let's
gonna
say the
go.
world.
Like
They were going to take
she,
over the world, Sarah.
if she hadn't befriended Frankenstein, and then she literally is the one to speak the incantation at the. I mean,
Right.
it's Phoebe. I'm telling you, this is the
We
hill
said
I
it
will
at the
die
beginning.
on.
We have come full circle. Phoebe first, scary German guy, and then Frankenstein. They were the top three. No
Love
one
it.
else. No one
Love
else.
it.
All right.
It's a
Any
cozy
final
little
thoughts?
romp.
Yeah, it's our first cozy corner.
Where's cozy corner nursing home?
Okay, that's it for today's comfort horror recap. Sweet dreams, homebodies.
All right. Well, what are we talking about next week?
Oh, well, next week, I was like, oh, look at what it is. That's so exciting. Next week will be our very first haunted sleepover. We are going to be seeing Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. all over again in the iconic 2002 version of Scooby-Doo. It's going to be so fun. I'm like cackling already. It's going to be so silly. It's going to be so silly and fun. Okay, we'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Haunted Homebodies. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
And remember, when in doubt, just stay home.